Hey everyone, I'm making this video review for these two Spraymate battery-powered backpack sprayers because I haven't seen any other videos, at least looking at both of these together. I definitely haven't seen any on the Lil Squirt. So if you're in the market for a battery-powered backpack sprayer, like I was, I found many of the videos on YouTube extremely helpful, and that's why I wanted to contribute one here as well. So I have a lawn and garden that's relatively small. When looking at the Spraymate Amazon page, in which these two products are part of, there's actually three. There's a 1.3 gallon, a 2.5 gallon, and a 4 gallon version. The smallest one seemed to be most feasible for me, which is why I purchased it. After purchasing it, I did notice there were some things I didn't actually like about it, and that's why I went ahead and actually purchased the 2.5 gallon Storm version. And now that I have both of them here, before I return the Lil Squirt, I thought I'd do a quick comparison of the two to help you decide which one is good for your own needs. So let's start with the 1.3 gallon Spraymate Lil Squirt version. I'll start out with what I really like about it, actually. I've never used the gun style nozzle here, which was really actually quite nice. It's like a power washer type spray handle, and I thought that's really cool. I just like the feel of it. It was really nice. There is no way to keep it on, actually, which I thought was very interesting. And so if you're doing a lot of spraying, you might want to consider that. There is a little safety here that allows you to make sure it doesn't turn on. And it actually comes with a wand and also just a nozzle that fits in without the wand. In my opinion, the wand was too short. I actually wanted it a little bit longer, and I'm not the tallest guy, so if you're a tall guy, you might want to consider that as well. Now, let me just get into the major issue that I found with this, and that was with the wand and the nozzle itself. Is if you look at the question and answer on the Amazon Spraymate page, they ask if you can use T-jet nozzles, and someone said yes. And that appears to be true for the 2.5 and 4 gallon, but not for the Lil Squirt. I don't understand why they went such a different route with the 1.3 gallon version, but you cannot just unscrew this. This is a variable spray nozzle, as is the one without the wand. They're exactly the same, just one has the wand. You can't just take this off and put a T-jet nozzle in. You would have to spend, when I was looking things up, $20, maybe $30 of extra accessories to add to this to use T-jet nozzles. And I already have T-jet nozzles, and that was a priority of mine, is to be able to use them with a backpack sprayer. So that was the major ding for the Lil Squirt. Now, a couple other things that I didn't like about it either is, if you look at the top, there's no handle, and I think that's really nice, just to carry it, shake it up, mix things up, as a lot of you guys do with your backpack sprayers. You can't really do that with this. You'd have to use two hands, kind of shake it up and down. The lid is a little bit smaller than what you're probably expecting for a normal backpack sprayer or sprayer in general. The other thing, I actually thought the tube was kind of cool at first, until I realized you have to screw on the lid, which it's attached to, and it just gets all tangled up. I literally have to hold this up and screw on or screw off so that this doesn't get all tangled up. It did get tangled up once, and then I had to spend time untangling it, and I think you'll notice that to be the case for you too. Now, on the back is the holder for the spray nozzle and wand, and here's the nozzle without the wand as well. It fits in here quite nicely, but it's a cheap plastic part that's held on by the lid. It doesn't hold things well. When you do have the gun in there, it doesn't sit up straight. In fact, right now it's already kind of falling over, which is why I have it up against the pole here. It doesn't sit up on its own. And when you're trying to put chemicals or anything in here, having the risk of it falling over is just a major problem. And so I found that to be the case with this. It's very unstable, and I think you'll read other reviews that say the same thing. Now lastly, with this one, you'll notice that it's technically not a backpack sprayer because it's not going on your backpack. There is this strap, it's a shoulder strap. And you know, I actually found it relatively comfortable to put over my my head and just carry it on the side. It's super light. It's actually got a little curve to it, so it kind of hugs your body a little bit, which was really nice. And the last thing is, I thought it was kind of a cheap thing, and I see it might come off later, is they just have a sticker on the front with their logo on it. And you'll see that's not the case here. It's actually printed on the larger version, much nicer. It does have gradations on the side for filling, but like a lot of these backpack sprayers, they're just in a raised format. I can read it barely looking at it here, but I totally agree with another reviewer that if they would just print those numbers and lines for the different levels, it would make filling things up in these sprayers much easier. Now, moving on to the Storm, which I am going to keep. You can see it's quite larger. It is a fair amount heavier. And I should note one other difference. The battery is actually in the back of this backpack sprayer in this little covered compartment. You'll notice I didn't say that with the 1.3 gallon, and that's because the battery that's going to remove all the liquids from the sprayer is in the handle itself. And I thought that was kind of cool, although you might be in for a bigger purchase in the future. If it breaks down, you'd have to buy a new handle, and I'm not sure how much those cost. And I'm not sure that's the case for the Storm here. So that is the different way that these two backpack sprayers operate as well. But the straps are really heavy duty with this, really nice. I like how it fit. I thought it was a little low on my back, even though it's in the shortest position. Again, I'm not the tallest guy around, 5'7", and I thought it was a little low, so I'm not sure if that's normal. It was completely comfortable though, definitely not a deal breaker, but the straps are really high quality. On the side here is a switch for low PSI and high PSI. I think it's 45 PSI low and 60 PSI high. I didn't look that up, so I'm gonna have to double check for you on that, but it is on their product page. And then the other thing you'll note is that this doesn't have the gun style handle. It's a typical wand that you would find, I think, with most sprayers that you might have used in the past. It does clip in on the side here, and I will tell you, it was super hard for me to push this in there. I mean, it is overly tight. So I don't know, hopefully that'll loosen up a little bit. It's just too tight. It'll hold the wand, and it's going to be really hard for me to get the wand out. The wand itself is carbon fiber versus the other one, which is metal, but I think the carbon fiber will do just fine. And you can see it's got a pretty decent size hose attached to it as well, which would be more than enough for anyone's needs. Now, I'm not going to take this out right now, but using the T-jet nozzles was super easy with this. Literally, I just unscrewed the cap, took out the old nozzle, make sure you get the washer in there as well. Put the washer, back in once you do have it with your new T-jet nozzle. Screw it on, and you're ready to go. And that was a super nice part of this. It saved me 30 bucks. And if you look at the price difference, had I have kept the Lil Squirt, but I wanted to use my T-jet nozzles and had to buy all the accessories to go with it, I'd be looking at probably 130 bucks, if not more, with shipping. To be able to use T-jet nozzles with the Lil Squirt, whereas with the Storm, I didn't have to do anything else. It was $150 when I purchased it. Would have ended up being nearly the same price, and in the occasion that I do need a greater amount of volume, I have that option. And that might be the case, spraying something like insecticides or something like that. So in my opinion, between these two, given their current state, even if you have a smaller lawn and garden, I would get the upgrade and get the Storm. Now, Spraymate, if you're listening to me, I think you have a really great product with the Lil Squirt, but it needs to have some upgrades to it to get it truly worth $100. I think I'd be comfortable paying maybe $75 for it, not $100. But that's just my opinion after using these two. Now, the last thing I want to say is the amount of sound. The Lil Squirt handle, believe it or not, makes more noise than this 2.5 gallon Storm. So if they're not loud, and you're to expect some noise because it's battery powered, Neither of them are obnoxiously loud, but I was a little surprised to see that the Little Squirt was actually louder than the Storm. So I think that's about all I have to say about this. I'm not going to spray or show any examples with that because it'll depend on what nozzle you're using and all of that. But I feel like spray-wise, both of these will be completely adequate for most of your needs, if not all of your needs. I hope this review was helpful in helping you decide which one of these two you might want to go with. And if you have any experiences you want to share, I definitely encourage you to use the comments section, because I personally find what people say in the comments section extremely helpful with everything that I need to do. So thank you for contributing. All right, take care, guys.